wonderful viewers, how are you doing? How have you been? It's me back again with another exciting episode here at Dog TV Kenya, and today I am in Ruai, Nairobi County, and I am visiting Jamka Security Services, their Canine department, and I'm chilling with Mzee here, and we are going to dive into the dog talks. So kama kawaida, this is Linda Kenyita and this is Dog TV Kenya, the best documentary channel for all dog lovers. Subscribe and do not forget to hit the notification bell to get notified every time we upload a new video. Mzee, karibu sana. Please introduce yourself and introduce your company.
My name's John Njaria. I'm the chairman of Jamka Security Services. And Jamka Security Services, we have dogs that we have that dog section, that K9. So you are in that farm now.
Okay. How long has your company been running?
I started this company 2002. From that time up to now, we are going up, growing. Now we added dogs after 5 years from that year. So since then, we have dogs, various dogs. That is, we have Babel, we have German Shepherd, also Rottweiler. We have these small ones. Pets for the houses.
Okay. So dogs, how many dogs do you have so far in your K9 unit?
We have 37 working dogs, some puppies. We have puppies, so we have that number.
Okay. Oh, when it comes to training your dogs, do you have an in-house dog trainer? Are your handlers also your dog trainers, or do you get services from other trainers outside there?
We have dog handlers personally for Njamka. We have another team, Sahara team, that we just ask them to come and join us. They train our dogs, mostly Sahara trainers.
When it comes to services and establishing a K9 unit, why did you incorporate dogs to your security services?
Security and the dogs are the same, but of course, because I retired from Armed Forces, Army, I developed interest there. So when I started this, I had that in mind, yes.
So when it comes to personally on your side, how involved are you with the dogs?
Yeah, I'm involved. When I'm going to other areas, I just select the best men to handle, dog handlers. I just also join them in a new assignment that we have. Then I hand over the assignment to our team.
Now, when you talk about assignments, your dogs, what kind of training do your dogs trained on? So that when you say assignments, what kind of training have they had, and what kind of assignments do you take in?
We train them, or our team train them, tracking, to be aggressive and guarding. Yes, those.
What if it's a trained dog? Let's say when it comes to the working dogs, now the ones who are trained, like if I'm not looking for a pet, what kind of assignments do they go to?
Other assignment, if not in guarding, they just go there. If your home has been broken, you can use them to track. That is why we say tracking. Yeah, they sniff, then they follow, then they can show you where they went. Luckily, if they didn't use the motor vehicle to transport your goods, yes.
Okay, definitely. I hope you're listening. Like, if you have troubles with people breaking into your house, you know the people to contract. Okay. Thank you, Mzee. Thank you so much. I think we'll have to see the dogs being trained and maybe hang out with the trainers and get to see the dogs in action. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. I wish you all the best. But of course, remember us. Many other times, come to us.
So ndiye siume huyu njuzi criminal ndio tunavaliza nini? Hii. Please tuendelee.
So I am hanging out here with these two fellas, or is it three? And I will let them introduce themselves and tell us what they do. Let's start here.
I'm Kevin Gitonga, a trainer, aka Mbwakali, dog unit.
Okay, my names are Eric Wambua, aka Kanda, dog trainer, Sahara Dog Trainers. Yes.
Okay, let me get personal before you even start asking questions. How old are you guys?
23.
I'm 22 years old.
Yeah, I wanted to get that because you guys look young, and it's always awesome when I have young guys in this show. So, training dogs. How long have you been training dogs?
Okay, actually we started training dogs back in 2018. So when you count back from 2018 to 2021, that's like 2.5 years. Yes.
So you've been working together as a team for that long. And how did you get into dog training?
Okay, how we got into dog training. First of all, we are 4 partners. For now we are just 2, but there are 2 guys who are missing. And all of us had a common interest in dogs. We actually started with dog breeding. Some of us, like for example, he had a Malinois, I had a Rottweiler. The other guys have Rottweilers also. But because we began getting into this new venture of dog training, we had to let go of the dog breeding business and focus mainly on the dog training. Yes.
And when it comes to dog training, because you started with breeding, how did you learn? How did it reach to this point that you can partner up with other farms and be professional in the field?
As he said, we have been doing dog, so we have a little contact with the dogs. We have ideas what dog needs. So that's where we came from.
Who are the guys who inspired you? Sababu, I'm very sure before you wake up and say like, let's start breeding dogs, now let's be trainers. Who are the guys who inspired you in this industry?
Okay, first of all, my greatest inspiration came all the way from rumors from Osama. They said the dog who captured, actually Osama was captured by a dog. So actually that is where my interest came from. I was so curious about these dogs. How did these dogs be trained and catch such a big person? So actually that is where I began getting the interest of how can you train your dogs to do such things. Yes.
It was a Malinois called Cairo. Yeah. Yes. And have you always wanted, what was your inspiration?
Me personally, I love the dog attack. I've been staying in the rural areas where people have been bullying, so I decided to have my security guard. Yes, that's where my inspiration came from. So
when you're walking around with a dog, no one can bully you, no one can get anywhere close to you. And if you were staying at Ocha, let me use that word, then which was your first dog?
It was a mongrel. Yes, it was a local mongrel, and it was a highly trained. Yes.
And how did you, if you're in the village, how did you know how to train your mongrel?
I just used local things. Yes.
Did you have YouTube to inspire you back then?
Later, I just came to understand that there is something called YouTube, and that is where I added my skills. Yes.
And you, which was your first dog?
Okay, actually, for me also, my first dog was a mongrel, but I didn't like people telling me that. Now because the ears were standing, and because it had black on its back, I actually used to tell people it is a young German Shepherd. Yes. But actually, how I got that dog? The place where I was living, there was a male dog. And I don't know how that male dog came with this female dog. And the person who had that male dog, he didn't want a female dog. So that is when I just went. It was sleeping under cars. So I just went, I took it, and I domesticated it. And it was a very fierce dog. In fact, back then, people say I was a very bad person because it's like I enjoyed chasing people with it. Because once you tell me my dog is not a pure breed, it's a mongrel, I get irritated.
But I'm thinking mongrels are pure breeds at their own, in their own kind of characteristics way. And you said you trained your dog. And also now that you've dealt with these other breeds, how easy or how hard is it to train a mongrel? Is a mongrel a dog somebody can own and train it, the basic commands?
Yes, actually, a mongrel is very highly trainable. It is just like the other dogs. The difference is that you can't know the origin of the dog. But the name mongrel, when someone hears, people actually don't call them mongrels. The name mongrel is actually, even it's good, even it's smart. But now people call it mutina. Now you can imagine you're walking with a dog, you have fed it so well, you have washed it, you have even bought a dog shampoo so that it can smell well. Then you're passing with a chain, you're very confident, then someone says, "Yo ni mutina." It is so heartbreaking, but they can be trained. They're highly trained, they're so good. Actually, they're good for protection. Most people have them.
Okay, people, stop hating on our mongrels. They are also nice dogs. Now, let's go back to the training we've had today. How old are the Bobel puppies?
They are 6 months old.
And at what age did they start training?
We started them at the age of 4 months. We started with the basic obedience, and later we introduced aggression, long range, and tracking, and muzzle work. So far, that's our training.
So most of the time, let's talk about Charlie here. Charlie is huge. How old is Charlie?
Actually, Charlie is 8 months. Charlie is 8 months old. A male Boabel, South African male Boabel. Yes.
How long has Charlie been training?
Charlie has actually been in training for 2 weeks now. He's a beginner, and as you can see, for his big size, for his huge size, it's actually hard to control him. It's actually hard to train him because he's pulling even without him knowing. He's so massive. So actually, what I can advise people who have such big dogs, it is better they start training at a young age, just like you've seen the other young Boabels. When they're young, they're easy to control, easy to manage, and they get training easily.
Yeah. Actually, now that you've mentioned the size, I wanted to ask, like, one of those puppies, I saw it's very agile. I think it's like a grown Malinois, like the way it can jump. As it grows bigger, will it maintain its agility?
Yes, actually what I can say, it will maintain its agility as long as the training is constant. When the training is constant, its body won't be like heavy for it. It will be physically fit. Yes, it's large, but it's fit. So it will still be able to do the agile works. It will be able to attack people at when the obstacles are high because of the continuous training. Yes.
And is there hope for Charlie of ever getting Charlie to be able to jump as the other puppies?
Actually, honestly, we can say the chances are a bit low because Charlie is a big dog, but he jumps so high when it's playing time. Even when you hold the bite tag so high, he will jump and try to reach it. So actually, its agility can be improved with time. Yes.
Let's talk to the decoy here. Hey man, you're not afraid these dogs will devour you?
As a trainer, I've been with the dogs since I was small, so I know how to deal with them. I know their best part, their worst part. I know how to control if they come when I'm not ready. I know to save myself.
You know, hey, like I saw one coming at me and I was like, oh my god, there goes my neck, and I was scared. You agitate these dogs, they kind of hate you at that particular moment. Do you get to socialize later with the dogs, or you go, you're the decoy, and that's it, leave the dogs no more?
If it's a security dog, sometimes I'm needed to handle it. If the handler is not faithful, I'm going to be given the dog. I handle it because I'm the one who trained him. Yes.
So you can be able to change roles, like now come and be the handler without doing the decoy, and the dog will not remember what you did to you?
It will remember, but I'll just bring him to the obedience class.
And now, have you ever had any accidents while training? Like, have you ever had a situation where the dog missed?
I've been beaten with a bobble spark. We were training here one day, and accidentally the leash got off. I was not ready. He managed to catch my leg, and that was my first dog bite. Yes, for a bobble. Yes.
And when it comes to these bites, which precautions do you take? Like when you think about infections that can be transmitted to you from the dogs, which precautions have you taken?
Actually, we every year we have our doctor who gives us rabies, anti-rabies. We are injected. So we are okay, and we also make sure that the dogs are fully vaccinated.
So if the dogs are fully vaccinated and you have an anti-rabies injection, then you do not need the... Oh, okay, nice. Now, as service providers in the training section, what are the things do you consider when taking in a dog for training?
Okay, before you take a dog in for training, first of all, you consider the breed. You consider the age, and we consider if the dog is fully vaccinated. Before you start training your dog, you have to provide a full certificate of the up-to-date vaccination. Then, if you have had a previous history of dog trainers, you have to tell us, because there are different methods used. He has taught different things, so we have first of all to know all about that. Yes.
And also when it comes to training, how long does it take for you to take the dog to the owner and say confidently that this dog is now well trained?
Actually, obedience and aggression, we take at least 30 days. Tracking, we had another month. For 2 weeks for tracking and 2 weeks for confirmation. The last 2 weeks are going to say if the dog is good to be given to the owner or back to the class. Yes.
Okay. So I'm out here, I have a dog, and I feel like this dog is trainable. How much do I need to budget for?
Actually, when it comes to prices, the prices are very different. It will depend with the things that I've told you. The age of the dog will matter, and also what you want your dog to be trained will also matter a lot. So before we talk about the prices, we have first of all to view a dog, and we see what needs to be trained. Yes.
Give me an average figure.
Our average figure, it's 2,000 per session, averagely.
And how, when it comes to, let's say, things like obedience, because I'm thinking with pets owners, mostly they want obedience, potty training. How much sessions do we need?
Okay, so when it comes to obedience, it comprises of many things. There's a basic obedience, the sit, calm, down, and stay. Then there's some people who actually have big dogs. Let's say someone has Charlie. He doesn't want Charlie to be trained, but the problem with Charlie is that when he goes out with it for walks, the dog is always pulling him. So you can find someone who wants to tell you that my dog Charlie I want him to stop leash pulling. So when it's actually like one thing, it will go for like 2 weeks to 1 week. But when it's the whole package, that is when it will range to a month. But these are for home dogs. For home dogs, we give it a month. But when it comes to security companies, it's actually going to take a long time because there's other things like tracking, there's sniffing, all those things. You have to include them, and that will actually take a lot of time.
There's this very popular saying that you can't train an old dog new tricks. How true is that saying?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. How is that?
Sometimes old dog in aggression, they can be protective dogs, but they can't be biting, but they will attack, but their chances will not be true. Yes. Okay. But they will understand the training. Yes.
What about basic obedience?
Yeah, it will understand. Yes.
The problem with that is that actually it takes a long time. For old dogs, it won't take the normal 1 month. It's very slow. It's a slow learner. So it actually takes a long time. And sometimes others even are very disappointing. They forget easily because of their nature. They are old, they don't know, others are not ready to learn. So those are the challenges of an old dog. But others learn. Yes, some learn.
You've mentioned challenges. Now, as trainers in this industry and you're young, what are the challenges that you have faced so far?
Okay, first of all, the challenges you have faced is that the people who are training for dogs, some are very far. So actually we have to, after giving them the specific times, we have to move from one place to another, and sometimes the distance is very long. And the person is actually relying on that dog for security, so you can't bring it for boarding. So you have to go to that place. After you move there, even if the distance is so long, you have to go to the other person. The other problem, it is, let's say, dog bites. Some people have very fierce dogs. It is actually some people people have very different problems. There's someone whose dog is very fierce. He wants it to become less fierce. The dog is very aggressive. And in such cases, dog bites are very frequent. They're very frequent. So when that happens, actually it comes on our side. We have to take care of our own. So we have to treat them. But actually that is not a challenge, but those are the things we have to go through. Yes.
Now, as dog lovers, when it comes to dating, have you had challenges with engaging girls because of your love for dogs?
Now that one is very funny. Sometimes these dogs are very funny, especially when you're working with small dogs. You don't know where girls come from. We don't know where those girls come from. You just see girls, they want to pet the small dogs. Sometimes even the dog is very aggressive, but when you tell them not to touch it, they still want it. But actually, it does not have a problem with girls. Actually, girls love dogs. Okay. Yes.
And you, is it the same story for you?
Yes, the same.
What advice would you give to dog owners out there?
The advice I can give to dog owners is that in the part of training, the best time to train your dog, it's at the age of 3 months. The basic obedience, it will start from there. At the age of 5 months, a little of aggression, and don't pet your dog. When you pet your dog will be lazy. Every time it will be always sleeping, and that will not be good for a dog. Yes.
Okay.
Actually, my advice to dog owners is actually everyone has with the dog which every person has. The dog has its own abilities, and it has its own. There's something that it actually likes a lot. So, let's say when you're having a dog which maybe you want it for protection and it's actually disappointing you, don't give up. You can actually try and look at other factors, at other fields that your dog is actually interested in. Yes.
Okay, as we say goodbye to the people, what would be your parting shots?
What kind of advice to people? It's people just try your best, your little best to train your dog. Even if you're not a trainer, you just try. not all, basic obedience, come, go. Yes. Yes, you just try. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Here.
Okay. I'll actually now for this part, I'm actually going to talk about Sahara as a whole. So actually, if you have a dog back there at home and you feel like it's actually giving you a challenge, don't give up. Don't think about disposing it to another person. You try to reach us, and we'll see how we're going to help you. If you want your dog to be obedient, we do that. If you want your dog for protection, we do that. And if you're far, also don't feel as if you are disadvantaged. We actually offer boarding services. Your dog will come and we will train it, and after the days we have spoken, you'll come and pick your dog. We present the things that you have taught. If you're satisfied, you check your dog. If you're not satisfied, you're going to make sure the results are the ones that you want. Yes.
So we are here hanging out with Steven. He's the top dog handler at Jamka and Jamka Security Services. And I'll let him introduce himself, and also he's going to introduce us to his dogs. Okay, karibu. And thank you for having us. So introduce yourselves and tell us what you do here.
Okay, thank you. My name is Stephen Njaria. I'm the operation manager in Jamka Security Services, and at the same time, I'm a dog master. So I do train and do combine operations in the farm, and at the same time, I'm a dog trainer. Yeah, with my friends here.
Okay. How long have you been training dogs?
Well, I started training dogs in police force, and in the police I trained dogs for about 22 years. From there I went to Rwanda, Canine Brigade. I trained their dogs for 4 years.
Wow.
And then I came back to my country. Then I joined Njamka when I was called by my uncle. Yeah.
When did your love for dogs begin?
In fact, since my childhood, I love the dog. Yeah.
Which is your best dog to train?
Well, I love almost all dogs, but the best dog to train are Rottweilers, German Shepherd, and the Boer Bell.
Okay. And they're the ones you have around. Okay, then introduce us to your dogs.
Okay, fine. Okay, the dog we have here, this one is a German Shepherd. He's now 1 year and 2 months. It's called Kilo. Kilo is a good working dog. He's mule trained him. And in aggression is good. Obedient is good. And at least he's not a dog to joke with. They can even swallow you.
Yeah, I saw that, and I...
That when you have been doing whatever.
Yes, and Kilo doesn't like me. Every time I get close to... Is it she or him?
When you come second time, I think you'll be friend. I'll introduce him to you.
Okay.
Okay.
And who is that pretty girl we have there?
The young one. Okay, this... This is a Boer Bell. He's now 5 months old. I started training this puppy at the age of 3 months and some few weeks. And for sure, she is doing well.
Okay.
Right now, she can even go to work. Yeah.
Okay, so at this age, it can go to work?
It can go to work. Although it's not good, but it can assist if you don't have any dog to work. Yeah.
It's trained at what?
Well, it's trained to aggression, obedience also, and agility. Yeah. Also, we have a dog known as Loda, sister to that one. Loda is a female dog and very good in aggression and obedient. When we come to agility, she is perfect. Yeah.
Okay, I saw that actually she's quite agile. And at 1 minute she's very friendly, and the next one she turns.
Yeah. And of which is both of them, we train them not to attack without being commanded, to avoid the accidental bites, of which we all know accidental bites is a crime. So we normally train them not to bite without a command, to avoid just a crime to occur.
Actually, I learned something new today, that accidental bites are a crime. Okay, so you need to know how to handle your dog.
Properly, Because if it bites somebody who has done no offense, for sure be liable for it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can even be, sent to the court of law to answer the claim that your dog has committed. Yeah.
Okay, Steve, thank you for having us. We've had a wonderful time and we totally appreciate it. Okay. I hope you've had fun. It's always a nice thing when I have young guys in the show because the energy is on another level. So I hope you've had fun with us. I hope you've learned. I hope you've enjoyed the show. And what do I say other than bye-bye? I'm your girl, Linda Kenyita, and this is Dog TV Kenya, the best documentary channel for all dog lovers. Please subscribe and do not forget to hit the notification bell to get notified every time we upload a new video. Bye.